Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Junk Lab Alchemy. My name's Christian, and that is my coffee mug. So, where do I begin? I recently went on a trip, and I wound up at a Dollar Tree, where I found this Final Faction action figure and thought, this is what I've been looking for. As some of you know, and if you don't know, this is all new to me, and I recently started building my own one-of-a-kind pieces of art with my son's broken toys, and eventually now I've been going nuts and pretty much looking at things totally different. Anything and everything has potential at this point, as you can see here. Anyway, so I've been building things and kind of trying to figure out what it's all about. I don't want to just build blindly. I figured maybe I'd create some type of story around these vehicles and these spacecrafts or whatever it is that I've been putting together. And one thing that recently stumped me was, what kind of scale am I working with? And I know absolutely nothing about scale. But I figured that this little action figure here is a size that I can work with. I figured going forward, if I make a vehicle, if it's not being driven by one of my robot like droids or whatever you want to call them, it would be this size on average. So going forward, vehicles will start to be a bit bigger and be able to fit this type of action figure inside of it. That being said, obviously I didn't want to just keep this thing or this action figure looking the same, so I instantly went into being creative. And I recently have been taking everything and anything apart, anything that comes across my hands, buying toys from secondhand shops and just kind of making an arsenal of pieces that I can use. And most recently I came across this goodie bag that had just a ton of stuff in them. And more importantly, a bunch of small, tiny pieces that I can use in my builds. So he is pretty much getting the first build out of that bag of small parts. That being said, I start thinking, well, what's this guy about? What's his deal? And I have this idea where all these characters are scattered throughout space or the universe, and they've had to adapt themselves to different planets, but they for some reason tend to be alone on these smaller planets. So when I started building this guy, I imagined him on a planet that he can somewhat survive on, something kind of like what we imagine or what scientists and most people would feel Mars would be like. There's water, but it's also like rough terrain. I imagine like sand and a lot of mountains and rocks and things like that. Also, I can't help but to imagine a post-apocalyptic situation, or just post-Earth type of situation. And I wanted this guy to be able to handle that rough terrain. So I started to build these boots, which I imagine are like, I don't know, hydraulic, mechanical type boots. I started to work on this chest idea. I wanted to add like some armor to him. He already comes with like this robotic arm, which I thought was pretty cool. So I didn't want to do too much with that other than obviously paint it. But as far as his like armor goes, I definitely wanted it to be like also his upper half would be like mechanical or robotic as well. So I started to work on that. So since he has a metal arm, I only had to really work one arm, and then I wanted to put some armor on him. So I began to glue some pieces on with some hot glue. But anyway, so I imagine this guy to be on this planet, this rough red planet. Imagine Mars. And I don't know what the story is exactly just yet, but he's on this planet. He's trying to survive. He's trying to make contact. I imagine maybe he crashed on this planet and he's been working on his spacecraft to get back out into the universe. And so here I am using this new glue. Actually, I have it right here. What's this called? This is called Mr. Cement Deluxe. It says for plastic models. So I've been using it whenever I have plastic parts just to kind of seep in where the hot glue may not grab properly or whatever. And so far it's been working. But yeah, moving forward here, I just started adding all these little bits. Here I am having a hard time getting these tiny little pieces. And that brings me to the next thing I wanted to talk about. So building this stuff, I realized that going really small with detail can be quite the pain in the butt. I mean, all these tiny little parts get really tricky to deal with. So as much as it seems that a smaller type build might be easier, it's really not. But that made it fun. And since this is all new, this was fun for me to experience and figure out. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really trying to build anything that was going to blow my mind. I just kind of want to have, like, again, something to work off in terms of scale and creating characters, scenarios, so I can create vehicles that kind of suit those scenarios and ideas. And that's what I figured I'd do. And I also just didn't want to put any pressure on myself. I do want this to be fun. And as you build them and make videos at the same time, you can easily get lost. And I've done videos for art before, and I'm well aware that, sometimes you gotta figure out which one you want to focus on most in that moment. And so I've been really focusing more on just having fun, making sure I enjoy this process, because it is meditative and I don't want to ever lose track of that part. So if I miss a couple parts here and there, it's because I kind of zoned out and was just enjoying myself. But so basically here I am just painting. This was hilarious, by the way. This gun was already like this exact gray. I painted everything black, and then I said, let me add like a gray, almost like a highlight in a way, to everything. And then I wound up painting this thing, and it wound up being the same exact gray. Now, some of the black did kind of add some depth or, detail to it, but I still thought it was funny. It wasn't far off of what it was to begin with. But yeah, so continuing on, I wanted him to be able to be somewhat camouflaged in this red planet. So I wind up painting him. Well, I started to paint him these like browns and reds, yellows, almost like fall colors. but you'll see momentarily. Here I am adding that gray onto here, almost like on an angle. Just thinking, you know, photography and video and how light hits, you know, a subject in terms of like natural light, I guess. So I figured I'd spray down on it on an angle, and that will kind of give it a highlight for me to work with. Don't know if that's correct or incorrect, but that was my approach. And you know, I'm all about trial and error and figuring things out as I go along. And you guys are literally watching me develop new techniques and ideas, and in terms of like, you know, creating and painting and just even making these videos, like shooting them. And you know, I want to get more creative with the way I go about shooting them, and to make them more interesting for you guys. As you know, on YouTube, the most important thing when you're making videos is to basically retain your audience's attention. And I figured I can do that by just making these more interesting. So, you know, again, you're literally watching me develop every part of this, and that's what kind of makes this fun for me. There's nothing that I can do wrong, I guess. You know, it's pretty much just learning as I go. Like one of the things I've been kind of understanding more is I definitely have to figure out how to get, you know, the right paints for this stuff. You know, I imagine that even like spraying like primers, for example, regular primers are a bit thicker. I feel like I need a finer paint. A misty paint is what I imagine. Since everything is so small, I figured if in that world you were painting something, the paint that you would use would be a lot thinner and more misty, so that it's smoother on the surface. And here I am just using regular acrylic paint that I've used to paint canvases for years. And I'm lucky to have all of this stuff available. Obviously, it's gotten my wheels turning. I've been super creative with what I have. I have been sealing things with like Mod Podge when I'm done, just to kind of protect the paint a little bit, like a matte finish. And it's been really fun. And even like photographing this stuff has been super fun. And I'm just getting started with all of it. But yeah, here's this character. I have no name for him yet. I have really no story. I just imagine this guy in like rough terrain. Maybe it's not another planet. I don't know. I definitely wanted him to look like he'd fit in to like Red Rock or something like that. But I fast forwarded this part here just because it's just a lot of slow painting, and I didn't really get a lot of different shots of every part of my painting, which I gotta really do one day because I think that would look really good. But yeah, this guy really started to come to life. I really was just in the zone, enjoying painting and watching some Adam Savage videos, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him and his history, and super inspiring guy. If you don't know, look him up on YouTube. He's amazing. I've been kind of watching him for inspiration since he's such a legend in this miniature world. Yeah, so this is pretty much my guy right here. He's gonna kind of help me create a little universe and give me an idea for scale. And here are some final photos. There he is on that red planet I was talking about. I kind of work with what I have. Lighting was pretty straightforward and basic, not really the way I wanted to approach it, but they look great, and I think it looks cool. It kind of sets my mind up to imagine the rest of what I'm going to build around these characters. But yeah, man, thanks for watching. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Again, this is Junk Lab Alchemy, and I'll see you soon.